Hello, everyone, and good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here, and thank you for this opportunity to talk to you. My name is Dr. Piotr Niewiadomski, and I'm the program director of one of our key flagship sustainability-related master's programs. It's called MSc in Sustainability Transitions. It's our innovative master's program that focuses on sustainability. And in this webinar, I will be talking about what the program includes, about the nature of the program, what you can expect after completing this program. And of course, I will be also available for questions if you have any. So welcome, everyone. Thanks for attending, and thank you for your interest in this program. And I hope you will find this session interesting. First of all, if we are to talk about sustainability transitions, it's good to have some clarity on what it exactly means. Sustainability transitions can be defined as purposive changes which societies and economies need to undergo to shift from the current, largely unsustainable socio-technical system to one based on more sustainable forms of production and consumption. In other words, in simple terms, it is about shifting from everything that has gone wrong so far and from how much we have damaged our planet to cleaner forms of production and consumption and to a more sustainable way of living. As such, sustainability transitions are necessary to address the grand challenges of our times, to mitigate climate change and solve various environmental problems. Apart from the shift from carbon-intensive systems to less environmentally destructive arrangements based on renewable sources of energy and greener practices, such transitions should also include corresponding changes in many other domains, including governance systems, institutional frameworks, markets, legal regulations, consumer practices and consumption patterns, policy-making procedures, and cultural discourses. In other words, it is not only about changing our sources of energy from fossil fuels to renewable energy. It's about corresponding changes everywhere else. That's why sustainability transitions are complex, multi-actor, multidimensional, and they require a lot of effort from everyone and every kind of stakeholder involved in sustainability transitions. However, despite these ambitious objectives, and despite recognizing the need to change the way we live, to change the way we produce and consume, there is still a shortage of experts to make it happen and to make sustainability transitions to unfold. There is a shortage of leaders with appropriate skills and knowledge to take this agenda forward and help make the world a better place, a more sustainable place. And this is exactly why this program has been developed. This is exactly what we aim to do. We want to fill the gap in the market. This gap exactly. This program, called MSc in Sustainability Transitions at the University of Aberdeen, is designed to train the future generation of innovators and thinkers who have the passion and ambition to deliver on the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals and become true sustainability leaders, which the world needs so much. Sustainability transitions will not happen by themselves. We know they need to happen, but they need to be guided and led by experts, knowledgeable, skillful, and well-trained experts, so that we can change our world to a more sustainable place. And this is exactly our main objective, and this is exactly how this program links to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, so the most important political framework for guiding our way to sustainability. Now that you know what the program is all about, you're probably interested to hear if the program is exactly for you. The answer is yes. This program is for everyone. First of all, you need to be interested in sustainability and want to help make the world a more sustainable place, no matter how idealistic it may sound, because this is exactly what we're doing here. We need to make sure that we have the skills and expertise to make the world a more sustainable place, and I'm sure we all agree this has to happen. You should have a clear understanding of the degree and its underlying principles, and this is one of the secondary objectives of this webinar, to make you aware of what exactly this degree is all about and what its underlying principles are. You should have a 2-2 honors degree or equivalent in any sustainability-related discipline, but that includes many different disciplines. Agriculture, business, ecology, environmental science, environmental management, environmental economics, environmental engineering, forestry, geography, geology, law, marine science, planning, politics, sociology, soil science, zoology, and many more. That means that this program is literally for everyone. Candidates with degrees in other subject areas will be also considered if they can demonstrate interest, aptitude, and experience in a field relevant to the application of environmental studies and management. But this program is not only for new graduates. This program is also for professionals, for existing professionals who look for a career change or wish to gain sustainability-oriented skills and knowledge to boost their CVs and to help themselves in their current professional roles. And we have had plenty of students coming from areas like oil and gas who wanted to switch to sustainability and who wanted to be even more useful in the changing political landscape, where much more focus is placed on sustainability-related activities. So in other words, everyone is welcomed. Everyone is welcomed, and as long as you do want to foster our transition to sustainability, this is surely the right place for you. Now it's time to talk about a few key features of the program, what the program actually offers more specifically. First of all, we offer a great balance of theory and practice, a healthy mixture of classes and field visits. Classroom teaching is important. It's a master's degree, so it is important to learn about different theories and concepts. But if you want to be effective professionals in the future, practice is also important, and that's also something we offer, including field visits and visits to different organizations who practice sustainability, but also an opportunity to do individual projects very often with external organizations and to gain practical skills that will be of importance in your future careers. The program also offers a wide array of topics and case studies drawn from many different sectors, including energy, water management, tourism, transport, fishing, aquaculture, agriculture, land management, and many others. We do not focus on just one sector. We do not offer a limited choice of topics. We also draw case studies and topics from different parts of the world, both more and less developed countries, because we want to make sure that whoever enrolls in this program has enough to take back home and to help their countries develop in a more sustainable fashion. Scotland is an unquestionable leader in sustainability internationally, and it's a very good place to learn about sustainable practices. But of course, not every practice is easily transferable, and we do ensure that this program is relevant for students from not only different disciplinary backgrounds, but also from different professional, cultural, and geographical backgrounds. We want to make sure that everyone can find something for themselves here. Importantly, our classes are not taught only by academics like myself, but also many guest speakers, including academics from other universities and other schools at Aberdeen University, but most importantly, different professionals, including industry and policy experts from various external organizations, and local authorities. The program also offers an opportunity to acquire practical skills that can be applied globally, regardless of what you are planning to do in the future. Whether you want to work for governments, industry, or businesses, this program will help you acquire skills like grant preparation, policy development, and project leadership. So employment-ready skills. And I will come back to the question of employability very shortly. So you might ask what specific courses this program encompasses. If you enroll in this program, if this is what you want to do, and I hope this is exactly what you want to do, you will start with an introductory course, Sustainability Transitions, Challenges and Opportunities, which I coordinate myself. This course offers many discussions about the theoretical and historical evolution of the notion of sustainability and how our understanding of sustainability has changed over time. But it also discusses various technological, political, economic, and sociocultural challenges which transitions to sustainability should overcome. And as I said before, different examples are drawn from different sectors and different geographical contexts. You will also have a course called Contemporary Environmental Challenges, where you will have a chance to learn more about different environmental issues at various temporal and spatial scales. And you will also learn about key drivers of environmental challenges. Another important course, Introduction to Energy Transition, Demand Technology and Economics, is delivered by the School of Engineering, another school at our university. But this course does not require students to have any engineering pre-knowledge. Don't worry if you're not engineers. You will still find this course interesting and easy to complete. This course offers an introduction and overview of energy transition by focusing on the three key areas of demand, technology, and economics, as the name of the course suggests. In the first semester, you will also have rural environmental policy and law, where you will discuss the role of policy and law in regulating the use, management, development, planning, acquisition, and transfer of land and natural resources. This course also includes a teamwork module to build student skills in communication and engagement, planning, and managing. Another important course that, apart from theory, also helps you equip with important practical skills. In the second semester, you will take also Governance and Political Economy of Sustainability, another course which I coordinate. Theories of governance in the context of sustainable development is the key thing this course will discuss, and you will also learn about the various political and economic tensions between different stakeholders, institutions, levels of administration, and sectors of economy at different scales. You will also take a very practically oriented course called Partnerships for Sustainability. I'm sure you are aware that the role of partnerships in pursuing sustainable development is constantly increasing, and it's important that you know more about the role of partnerships, and you learn about the concepts and practices that form the basis of sustainability partnerships, and are familiar with various theoretical ideas around partnership formation and practical case studies of partnerships. The course called Research Methods is a key building block for the dissertation or partnership project that students undertake over the summer. This course will discuss relevant research methods for the analysis of environmental, rural, land, and property resources, or in other words, it will prepare you for the final projects. Another important course in the second semester is delivered by the business school. If you want to be sustainability leaders, which we very much want you to become, you also need to learn something about the concept of leadership. And there's no better place to do this than our business school. You will learn about different leadership theories and approaches, and you will also learn how personality, past experience, current situations, and culture shape leadership, and what to do to become better leaders and to help the world transition to more sustainable forms of consumption and production. In the summer term, you will undertake a sustainability project, which will be, as the title of the slide suggests, a gateway to attractive employment. And for pretty much all students on this program, it has proved to be a gateway to attractive employment. Your role will be to produce an independent piece of work that demonstrates advanced knowledge of a selected aspect of sustainability transitions. You will demonstrate your ability to develop relevant research questions and collect, analyze, and interpret data to address your chosen research objectives. And there will be two options to choose from. Either you will write a conventional academic dissertation, or you will undertake a project placement with one of our partner organizations. And this will be your choice. That will be up to you. Projects with partner organizations will be designed and proposed by them and will be conducted in collaboration with them. So you will have a chance to work with a partner organization on a real-world project, not only an academic piece of research. This opportunity is a unique feature of this program. No other program offers anything like this, and we work with a wide range of partners to make it happen, and our partners welcome our students and help them gain these practical skills. Many partners subsequently offer employment to the students who do project for them, which means that if you do well, attractive employment opportunities will be waiting for you. However, conventional dissertations are also an option, particularly if you want to pursue an academic career in the future. If you are more academically orientated and want to proceed with a PhD, this program will also prepare you well for that. But you will be advised to write a conventional academic dissertation then. The choice is yours. I mentioned that we work with a range of partners. Our wide network of partners includes, for instance, both local councils, Aberdeen City Council and Aberdeenshire Council, both of which have representatives on the advisory board on this program. This program is not only our invention. This program has been developed in partnership with many external organizations, and both local councils have helped us a lot, and they advise us on a regular basis. This network of partners also includes Aberdeen Renewable Energy Group, Scotland Community Foundation, Scottish Enterprise, and organizations such as Nestrans, Nescan, and Aberdeen for a Fairer World, amongst many, many others, which I do not have enough space to list here on this slide. But we value our partnership with every organization we work with, and we are grateful to the opportunity they offer to our students. You might ask what other students think about this program. There are plenty quotations available on the website. I have chosen two here. Hannah Lawson, who graduated last year, said, "The program cultivates a holistic understanding of sustainable development, which is key for roles in policymaking, research, and implementation of sustainable practices. I would recommend this MSc program to others because I feel it developed my knowledge and skill set for the working world, as well as the opportunity to meet fellow students from across the world and share our cultures and experiences." Parul Bagel, who was the class rep 2 years ago, said there was an amazing support system in place for the students. We were also given the opportunity to work with our partner organizations for a sustainability project, which helps us get the real world understanding of sustainable development. As you can see, this quotation emphasizes the unique feature of the program, the opportunity to have a project placement with an external organization. What Parul also mentioned here is the support system in place for the students. When you enroll in this program, you will understand you're never alone. You're never on your own. Not only because you will have a chance to study with like-minded people who want to make the world a more sustainable place, but also you will benefit from the system which the university has in place. We want to make sure that you do well. We want to make sure that you are happy and that you are comfortable with the choice you have made by coming here. We help you a lot. We have an open door policy and our staff are always available. The university has also a system in place to help you just in case there are any unpleasant things happening in your lives. We always try to help our students and make sure that their well-being is not affected. And if anything else is happening, we can help them and that their performance is not affected by that. So we really care about our students because it is our ambition to train the future generation of sustainability leaders. Finally, I would like to give you a few examples of careers which you can expect to pursue after graduating from this program. 2 years ago, our cohort generated a graduate transport officer working for Nestrons. One of our students is an environmental manager working for NHS Grampian, so the health services in Scotland. Another student is an energy and sustainability manager working for Edinburgh Leisure. We also have a development and enterprise manager working for Camp Hill Wellbeing Trust, a charity organization in Aberdeen. One other student decided to pursue an academic career and is now successfully doing her PhD at the University of Hull. The last year's cohort also includes a number of impressive examples. One of our students is now the Sustainability and Effectiveness Supervisors at the University of Maryland in Baltimore, the United States. Another one is a graduate sustainability consultant working for HDR, a private company. We also have an environmental and sustainability coordinator working for Texo, and we have a graduate net zero consultant working for Mott MacDonald, so a big energy company. So as you can see, this program prepares students for undertaking attractive and ambitious employment in various sectors and very often at very high levels of responsibility. Many of our students have managed to land ambitious and satisfying jobs very quickly after graduating. And currently, we think that we have a 100% employability level. So everything I have said is not just empty words. This is clear evidence that our students are well prepared for ambitious employment and attractive employment in various sectors, in various countries, depending on what interests them the most. Of course, this list does not include many good examples of overseas students who came to Aberdeen and who went back to their countries after completing the program. Most of them now successfully and effectively work for the political authorities in their home countries, very often at the ministerial level. I will stop here because I appreciate you might have plenty of questions, especially if I have not covered anything you might be interested to hear. And if there are any questions, I will welcome your queries either by email. Please feel free to email me. And I believe we still have some time now in this session to ask questions, and I will try to answer them as much as possible. Thank you for your attention, and I'll switch off the presentation.
Perfect. Thank you for that presentation, Piotr. So as mentioned, we will now open the floor up to everyone attending for any questions you may have. There is a Q&A button at the top right-hand side of your screen where you can submit questions. If you are having trouble submitting questions, as mentioned, you can always email them to Piotr, and there will be a follow-up email that goes out after this event has finished. So his email address and the general study email address will be there as well. So we do have some questions that have come in. So somebody has asked if they're coming from a non-sustainability background, do they need a higher result on their degree than if they did have a sustainability background?
No, it's not required at all. And like I said before, I appreciate that sustainability may be a new thing to many applicants. You need to demonstrate in your personal statement that this is the program for you, and you know why you are applying for a place on this program. If your disciplinary background is not any of those I listed in my presentation, you can definitely compensate for this in your personal statement. And if you make a convincing case, I can assure you, you don't have to worry about the outcome of your application. You will be as welcomed as those applicants who come from more sustainability related disciplines.
That's great, thank you. Someone else has asked, do you have examples of some people who didn't have a sustainability background, what they kind of studied, and was it more difficult for them on the program than those with the sustainability background?
The program is, that's a very good question, actually, and thank you for this. The program is classed as a social science program with some elements of physical sciences. So every discipline relies on some particular skill sets and methodologies. So for instance, engineers are very often not as good at writing essays as they are at doing complex mathematical calculations, yes? But this is pretty much the only possible difficulty I can think of. But we are aware of this. We know very well that students can be coming from different disciplinary backgrounds, and there is always an opportunity to learn all necessary skills before assignments take place. So we do everything we can to make sure that no one feels disadvantaged because of their disciplinary background. So, for instance, if someone comes from a hard science background like engineering or anything like this, I deliver an essay writing workshop to make sure that everyone knows what is required and how to do this. I should have mentioned in the presentation that apart from the classes and the courses I listed, we also offer a range of additional workshops to help students acquire skills or to catch up with some of the skills which they might not have had a chance to acquire during their earlier studies. As I said before, we really want to make sure that you do well, yes? This is as much our ambition as it is yours. So we don't want anyone to feel disadvantaged. We deliver extra classes. Our staff are very helpful, and generally, depending on your disciplinary background, you might come across some challenges, and it would be disingenuous to say that it doesn't matter, but there is a system in place to help you overcome these challenges. And I have had students from non-sustainability related disciplines who did extremely well on this program. So the bottom line is I wouldn't worry about that at all.
That's great, thank you. Someone asking, you had mentioned field visits as part of the curriculum. They're asking, do field visits include the chance to work with organizations or companies doing sustainability work? And are there networking opportunities with field visits or other opportunities?
Field visits as such have a more educational objective. So they do not really translate into any concrete opportunities for collaboration. Networking, yes, of course, because field visits will allow you to get to know different people. The same applies to guest speakers and different guest seminars, which we try to organize. But if you're asking about practical skills and opportunities to work with external organizations, that's exactly what the summer project is for. I'm sure you know that in the British system, master's programs tend to be quite intense, and it is always the case. It's not a unique feature of this program or any other program. Every master's program is quite intense. and it would be quite difficult to find time for any intense collaboration with any external organization during any of the 2 teaching terms. And I also would discourage that, because it's necessary to focus on the other things. Whereas in the summer term, we create opportunities like this for you. We encourage you to take them on. Usually we have more projects available than students on the program. This is how much external organizations value our students, yes? We do not need to tell students, sorry, there are not enough projects and you need to write a dissertation. We usually tell partner organizations, apologies, but we do not have enough students to take your projects. We usually have many students, but that shows how much external organizations are interested in working with us. So there will be definitely opportunities for each and every one of you.
Perfect, thank you. So going in line with the final project that you had mentioned as the opportunity to work with organizations, someone's asking for examples of what kinds of projects have students done in the past for their final project.
That's a very good question. Thank you for this. It depends on the organization, yes. We work with organizations representing different sectors. We want to offer opportunities for as many different opportunities as possible. For instance, if we work with any of the councils, our councils are interested in policy-making related projects, and they expect our students to do research on the public perception or on the various barriers to the implementation of sustainability policies, or they ask our students to help develop different policies, many of which later on actually are implemented, and our students have a concrete input in these policies. We work with Nestrans, which is a transport partnership, and our students working with Nestrans help make transport in the northeast of Scotland more sustainable. For instance, they try to develop policies that encourage people to walk more or cycle more, or they do research on the infrastructural barriers to clean modes of transport. We have projects coming from community organizations, and their objectives are to help communities develop climate mitigation and adaptation strategies. We have a range of projects overseen by Scottish enterprises that are dedicated to net zero. Many of our students work with Scottish enterprise partners and help them develop net zero strategies in line with Scottish legislation. We also have projects dedicated to various aspects of sustainability, like green skills, for instance. We have energy-related and focused projects in partnership with the Aberdeen Renewable Energy Group, and so on and so on. The range of projects, of course, differs every year. We cannot guarantee that we have the same projects every year, yes, because it depends on what our partner organizations need. And they are always invited and welcome to propose projects which they need doing. The whole idea is for our students to gain practical experience, while at the same time for our students' work to be of help and relevance to the partner organization. And indeed, many of our partner organizations make good use of our students' work in the future. And very often they also offer our students direct employment.
Perfect, thank you. So I think you have maybe answered this question just by giving some examples of past projects, but I'll ask it anyway. Are the companies that students can partner with mostly local, or can they be from anywhere in Scotland?
This is actually a very good question, because that links to one thing I perhaps should have mentioned in my presentation. We work mainly with local companies, but not only. So we do work with companies based elsewhere in Scotland. That's absolutely possible. And we are also open to international forms of collaboration. And I can think of at least 2 examples of projects that were based internationally, or at least in collaboration with international organizations. So that's all possible. One thing I should mention is that our students, if they want to have a project placement and if they have interesting contacts themselves, our students are also invited to create project placements for themselves, subject to all academic scrutiny, of course, yes. These projects will have to be approved by the university first, but it is possible. If you can think of any contacts in your home countries or other parts of the UK, you are more than welcome to suggest these projects, and we can help you develop them to make sure that they are robust enough in academic terms to give you a master's degree, of course, yes. So we do not restrict ourselves to local companies only. However, most of our partners are local companies and organizations simply because of our location, because we are based in Aberdeen and we are part of this city and part of this community, but also because Aberdeen is now an energy capital of Europe, following a transition to sustainability. And therefore it is one of the best places to learn about sustainability transitions. And that's why the availability of relevant partners in this part of Scotland is higher than elsewhere. But again, we are happy and open to work with anyone, and our students are also welcomed to propose projects by themselves.
That's perfect. So there is a question on scholarships or loans. So I'll just answer that really quickly. Someone asking, are there scholarships or loans available for international students? There are. What I will do is I will share a link to the funding database that's on our website. There you can filter any scholarships, funding opportunities by study level, where you're from, so your domicile, and the subject that you're studying. So feel free to peruse through that. There will also be a link to the database in the follow-up email that we send, and any other questions that you have about funding can go to study@avdn.ac.uk. So there aren't any other questions just now. I'll just give it another minute or two. We'll see if any other questions come through. And if not, I'll hand it back to you, Piotr, to say goodbye.
Okay. Please fire away if you have any more questions. The questions asked so far were really good. And thank you for this. That really helped me make my presentation more complete. And perhaps this links to another thing I would like to say. We usually have a very international cohort on this program. This year we have 10 students from 10 different countries from 5 different continents. So this is exactly what we want. Everyone is welcomed and everyone can find something interesting for themselves. But most importantly, an opportunity to interact with students from other geographical, cultural contexts is a great learning opportunity for everyone. For everyone, especially that there are many assignments on different courses where students are invited to develop topics themselves and to choose topics themselves. And very often they talk about things they know from their home countries, which of course is beneficial to everyone else because everyone can learn about even more than what lecturers talk about. And I must admit, every year I absolutely enjoy interacting with everyone, regardless of where they are from and what their disciplinary background is. Even though I'm the director of this program, I do admit I learn a lot every year from every student, and therefore I enjoy working with my student very much every year. And this is a great opportunity for everyone, including the staff on this program. If there are no more questions, Margaret, if you could kindly check. I wouldn't like to miss any.
So there's just one that's come through.
Okay.
I think just talking about how international of a cohort that we have currently and have had in the past, and again tying in with final projects. So someone's just asking, they're from overseas, how would a project with a company from their home country, from their home city, be approved by the university for the final project?
Mm-hmm. Our international students hardly ever experience any problems with working with local organizations. Aberdeen and Scotland in general is an extremely friendly place. We always offer extra support to make sure that everyone can feel comfortable. So it literally doesn't matter where you're from. You're welcomed here, and we will make sure that your experience will be as good as it can be. If you want to work with an organization from your home country, it is possible, of course. But like I said, it has to be first approved by the university, because in terms of the difficulty and the amount of work required, it has to closely correspond with every other project. So if you want to propose a project yourself, there will be a time to do this, and you will hear from me during the program. You will be welcome to make a proposition, and then we will have to assess whether it is robust enough and whether it is as difficult and as time-consuming as the other projects. And if not, we will help you shape it to make sure that it is enough for you to earn a master's degree. And of course, if there is goodwill on all sides, so the potential partner company, yourself, and us, then of course I wouldn't worry about that at all. We will always make it happen, and at least once or twice per year I go through this procedure with students proposing their own projects, and we have never had any failures on this front. We've always managed to get things right for everyone.
That's great. Thanks, Piotr. So no other questions have come through. So like we said, if you do have any, please feel free to email Piotr after the webinar is finished. And I'll leave it to you, Piotr.
Okay. Once again, thanks for attending. I look forward to welcoming you here in Aberdeen, of course. It's a great place. It's a very friendly place. It's the best place to learn about sustainability. And this program has already proved its value over time. And hopefully you will decide to come to Aberdeen, and I will have a pleasure to work with you next academic year. Thanks for attending. Thanks for your questions. I'm available if you have any other questions. Feel free to email me, and hopefully see you in September. Thank you very much.